Hello everyone, and welcome back to Hopecraft English. Have you ever felt your blood boiling because of someone's rude words? Have you ever let a bad moment ruin your entire day? We have all been there. We often think that reacting with anger shows strength, but does it really? Today, I want to share a powerful story with you. A story about finding true control when the world tries to push your buttons. This isn't just a story. It is a lesson on how to protect your peace. If you want to learn English through meaningful stories and transform your mindset, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's grow together. Now, let's begin our story. Ethan was a bright, ambitious young man of 25. He was known for his hard work and his talent in the kitchen. However, Ethan had one weakness. He was incredibly sensitive. He wore his heart on his sleeve. A single criticism could make him doubt himself for a week. One sunny afternoon, Ethan was in charge of the annual community barbecue party. This was a big deal. He wanted everything to be perfect to prove his worth to the neighborhood. He had been marinating the meat for 2 days and had barely slept. Just as the party was starting, Julian arrived. Julian was Ethan's distant cousin, a man who loved the sound of his own voice and enjoyed making others look small to make himself feel big. Julian walked over to the main grill where Ethan was working. In front of the guests and the town elders, Julian laughed loudly. "Oh, look at Ethan," Julian sneered, shaking his head. "Sweating like a nervous amateur. You know, everyone says you try too hard because you lack actual talent. This meat looks dry already. What a waste." Then, pretending to help, Julian bumped into the table, knocking over a tray of expensive spices. "Oops," Julian smirked. "So clumsy, Ethan. Maybe you shouldn't be in charge next year." The crowd went silent. People whispered. Ethan felt his face turning red. His heart hammered against his ribs like a trapped bird. He wanted to scream. He wanted to punch Julian in the face. The humiliation was burning him alive, but he couldn't make a scene. Choking back tears of rage, Ethan threw down his apron and stormed off toward the back of the property. He needed to escape. He walked until he reached the small, quiet garden shed of Uncle Morgan. Uncle Morgan was a retired army cook, a man of few words but deep wisdom. He was inside, boiling water on a small stove. He saw Ethan's shaking hands and red eyes, but asked no questions. "Uncle Morgan," Ethan's voice trembled. "Why does he do that? Why does he always win? I try so hard, and Julian just destroys it in 1 second. I feel like exploding." Uncle Morgan gestured for Ethan to sit down. "I am making coffee," he said calmly. "Watch this." Uncle Morgan placed 3 pots of water on the stove and turned the heat up high. Once the water in all 3 pots was boiling fiercely, he did something strange. In the first pot, he placed a large, fresh carrot. In the second pot, he placed an egg. And in the third pot, he poured in a cup of ground coffee beans. "The boiling water is the adversity you face," Morgan said. "It is the insults, the pressure, the Julians of the world. Now, let's see how each object responds." After 10 minutes, Morgan turned off the heat. He fished out the carrot and placed it in a bowl. He took the egg and placed it on a plate. Finally, he ladled the rich, dark coffee into a mug. "Touch the carrot," Morgan instructed. Ethan poked it. "It's soft. It's mushy. It's falling apart." "Correct," Morgan nodded. The carrot went in strong, hard, and tough. But after facing the boiling water, it became weak and lost its structure. "Now, break the egg." Ethan cracked the shell. Inside, the liquid yolk had become rubbery and solid. "The egg started with a fragile heart," Morgan explained. "It was fluid and gentle inside, but the boiling water changed it. It became hard, stiff, and unfeeling." "Finally," Morgan smiled, lifting the mug. "Smell the coffee." A wonderful, rich aroma filled the small shed. Ethan smiled instinctively. "The coffee beans are different, Ethan. They did not get soft like the carrot. They did not get hard like the egg. They changed the water. When the water got hot, the beans released their fragrance and flavor. They used the heat to create something new, something better." Uncle Morgan looked deep into Ethan's eyes. "Ethan, when Julian insults you, when the water boils, which one are you? Are you the carrot that seems strong but collapses under pressure? Are you the egg that starts with a kind heart but becomes bitter, angry, and hard inside? Or are you the coffee bean? The bean does not let the water define it. It transforms the water. It changes the atmosphere around it." Ethan sat in silence. The lesson hit him harder than any punch. He realized he had been acting like the carrot, letting Julian crush his spirit. And he was in danger of becoming the egg, hating Julian so much that he would become bitter himself. "To stay calm," Morgan whispered, "is not to be passive. It is to choose your response. Be the coffee bean, my boy." Ethan stood up. The anger in his chest was gone, replaced by a cool, steady focus. He wiped his face, thanked Uncle Morgan, and walked back to the party. Julian was still there, loudly telling a joke at Ethan's expense. The old Ethan would have run away or fought back with anger. The new Ethan walked straight to the microphone. He took a deep breath. He didn't attack Julian. He didn't defend himself. He smiled, a genuine, confident smile. "Ladies and gentlemen," Ethan said, his voice steady, "I want to thank my cousin Julian for pointing out the spill earlier. It reminded me that in cooking, as in life, things get messy. But that's where the flavor comes from. Because of that delay, the meat has rested perfectly. I invite you all to taste the best BBQ of the year." The crowd cheered. The tension evaporated. The smell of the food, and Ethan's confidence, filled the air. Julian stood there, silent and confused. His words had no power anymore because Ethan had changed the energy of the room. Ethan had become the coffee bean. In conclusion, my friends, life will always put you in boiling water. There will always be rude people, difficult bosses, or unfair situations. You cannot stop the water from boiling. However, you have the absolute power to choose what you become inside that pot. Don't be the carrot. Don't let a bad day make you weak and give up on your dreams. Don't be the egg. Don't let a rude person turn your heart into stone. Don't let the world make you bitter. Be the coffee bean. Use the challenges to bring out your best flavor. When things get hard, that is your chance to impact the world around you positively. Remember, real calmness is not silence. It is the ability to control your own story. Thank you for listening to this story on Hopecraft English. I hope next time you face a boiling water situation, you will remember Ethan and the coffee bean. If this story inspired you, please like this video and leave a comment below saying, "I am a coffee bean," to claim your strength. And don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing stories. See you in the next video.